Good afternoon and welcome to the Recovery Summit. And we're joined this afternoon by disruption expert Terence Mowry. So before we go into the interview, Terence, I just want to introduce you because you have so many incredible feats to your name. So you were described as an influential and outspoken thinker on the future of leadership by Thinkers 50. Your Inc. magazine column, Future Proof, has over 1 million readers, and your new book, The 3D Leader, which is out on the 24th of June, has been described by the Financial Times as a game changer. So a lot of very impressive credits, and we're very excited to hear from you and get your insight. But just to say as well that you also speak about innovation, with innovative companies, universities, around the world, about how leaders can thrive in the age of disruption. So we're very grateful to have you with us today to share your insight. So Terence, to start, so you're an expert on leading in the age of disruption, but companies at the moment have never really quite experienced anything like they're experiencing during this global health pandemic with COVID-19, have they? COVID-19, sorry.
Good afternoon, Angela. It's true. It's this word disruption is happening all over the world. Even job titles are being disrupted. Over the last couple of months, I've come across innovation Sherpa, tech philosopher, and my personal favorite, director of disruption, who confessed he was as popular as a funeral director. So disruption is happening everywhere. And what it means is an external shock to the status quo.
Mm-hmm. And so, Terence, many people will be working remotely during COVID-19. It's becoming the norm. It is the norm at the moment for the foreseeable. Very hard to manage people remotely, though, as we know, but not for everyone. So what is it that makes a leader successful? How can you lead successfully during times like this?
The pandemic has thrown our world upside down. It's forced us to really rethink work, rethink the workplace, and also rethink how we do work. I suggest 3 strategies. Number 1, we need to energize even more. So everybody needs to feel energized. There needs to be empathy. That's so important right now because this tragedy has affected everybody's lives in different ways. And finally, we need to be enabled. And what I mean by enabled is that there's real purpose, meaning, and impact to the job. And I think this is what I would say to our listeners is don't just return to work, reimagine work.
It's interesting you say that, but can I ask you what your thoughts are? I've seen a lot of blogs, people saying, there's a lot of micromanaging going on during times like this. So as a manager and you've got people working from home, what's the best tactic? Should you be checking in on them every 5 minutes, or should you trust your colleagues to just do the job they've been hired to do?
It's such a big catalytic question. For example, many years ago, I used to have a boss whose nickname was the Shadow. And you'd be working at your laptop. All of a sudden, you would feel a cold shiver down your spine, breathing. You'd look behind, and the boss would be there. And I think many of our listeners can relate to this. In fact, my own research at MIT shows that 1 in 5 employees would trust a stranger more than a boss. And we've all experienced the Psychoboss. In fact, many CEOs have a high level of narcissism and egocentricity. So we need to turn the dial on 3 things. Be a coach, not a micromanager. So be coached. Look for coachable moments in the day with your team. And be a macro manager, not a micromanager. And what that means is give people autonomy, give people freedom, and give people trust. And finally, make it inclusive and make work matter.